Sometimes an actor is just born to play a certain role. No matter who else may take on the mantle in the future, that one performance will always stand out like a beacon, reminding you just how awesome that actor was in their role. This couldn't be truer when it comes to superheroes and the actors who portray them. We have dozens upon dozens of heroes to choose from on screen now, but only a small handful will stand the test of time, to be remembered for decades to come. Here are Screen Rant's 10 actors who prove that they are the perfect superhero. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay up with all the goodies at Screen Rant.
And before we start, can you guess these movies from these emojis? Stay tuned for the answer at the end of our video.
Superhero landing!
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. We can all agree that Ryan Reynolds was born to play this role. A passion project for the native Canadian, Reynolds was trying to get Deadpool greenlit for years and was constantly being shut down, mainly due to the studio's fear of the film being R-rated, which may have spelled financial disaster for any big-budget film at the time. It didn't help that Reynolds previously portrayed the character in the ill-received X-Men Origins Wolverine film, which effectively destroyed what fans came to love about the Merc with the mouth. In order to further convince the studio that the Deadpool film should happen, Reynolds and director Tim Miller worked on a 3-minute test footage reel that they shot and showed to execs at Fox. The footage was mysteriously leaked online shortly after, and the fan response certified that a Deadpool film with all its cussing and blood would be made. Reynolds' persistence and dedication ensured his dream project was eventually given the green light to begin production. Reynolds even took a pay cut to ensure that the writers could be present on the film shoot to change the script during the shoot. What a guy! Stay tuned for more information on why Reynolds was perfect as Deadpool.
I am Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. If Robert Downey Jr. walked into a bar, we bet you'd be confused for a second or two if it was actually Tony Stark. That's because Downey Jr. owns the role of Iron Man so naturally, it's almost as if the man doesn't have to act. Comfortable, hilarious, and oozing personality, it's almost insane to think back now to when Marvel execs were considering someone else to play the dashing billionaire. Actors such as Tom Cruise and Sam Rockwell were initially considered for the lead role, the latter was actually given a part in the sequel. Thankfully, director Jon Favreau insisted and Downey Jr. was eventually cast and become one of the highest paying actors in Hollywood, and Marvel successfully kicked off their extremely lucrative cinematic universe in which Downey Jr. has appeared in solo Iron Man films, Avengers films, Captain America Civil War, and Spider-Man Homecoming.
We need you to come in.
Are you kidding? I'm working.
Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. For some reason, there are not too many memorable female superheroes at this point in time. That might all change soon, but at least there's one right now that stands above all the rest. She may not have powers, but she's still a certified Avenger. Scarlett Johansson has become a symbol for strong female characters while dishing out the punches. Audiences love her portrayal so much that many people have been begging for years that Marvel give the Black Widow her own movie, which would certainly be okay with us, as Johnson's portrayal of former assassin turned agent Natasha Romanoff is one of the most layered characters in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. A killer combo of good looks and insane fight moves that would make many jealous. We don't think there's anyone else we'd rather see as the Black Widow.
Today I found out what Batman can't do.
Christian Bale as the Dark Knight. Many actors have taken on the task of playing Batman, one of the most beloved superheroes of all time. From Adam West to Ben Affleck, the Caped Crusader has seen many excellent and not so excellent iterations. But the one that comes to mind for most people is Christian Bale's take in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. This grounded set of films made Bruce Wayne a much more relatable hero who had enough charm, conflict, and swagger to set him apart from his contemporaries, which put characterization over action while still delivering jaw-dropping action. No easy feat.
I'm trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart. You did that when you signed.
Chris Evans as Captain America. When initially cast as Captain America, many cast doubt on his capability to lead the Avengers. After all, he already played a Marvel superhero in the Fantastic Four. By the time Winter Soldier came out though, all uncertainties and reservations were swept aside and Cap became one of the fan favorites in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tossing aside the Boy Scout and questioning the moral, ethical, and political landscape of the modern era, Evans' portrayal of the Man Out of Time became a fan favorite and one of the most lucrative superhero franchises to date. Audiences roared with laughter and joy when the actor cameoed in Thor: The Dark World, a testament to the actor for creating such a likable character on screen. The actor also got seriously shredded for the role, which totally sells the fact that this is the man who will lead a super team of heroes against aliens and who knows what else in the future as we await the Infinity War.
She's dangerous.
So am I.
Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Before being cast as the Asgardian demigod, not too many people knew who Chris Hemsworth was. He appeared in a few minor roles prior, such as a brief appearance in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot and the sunny thriller The Perfect Getaway, but the Kenneth Branagh directed film threw the Australian actor into global stardom, and for good reason. Hemsworth is a natural as Thor, offering humor, likability, and a Shakespearean internal conflict, and the abs for days that would make anyone jealous. The actor's portrayal as the Norse deity has become the stuff of legend, and the actor would go on to star in a number of big-budget films since his debut as Thor.
Welcome back.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Coming back to play the character a whopping 7 times, 8 if you include First Class, it goes without saying that Hugh Jackman is the Wolverine. Many of us grew up with his portrayal as the feral Canadian who made his debut in 2000 in the first X-Men film. Always willing to explore different sides of the classic character, Jackman's portrayal was strong enough to warrant his own spin-off trilogy, which concluded with the hyper-violent and highly praised film Logan, which was a passion project for the Australian actor. Jackman even took a pay cut to ensure that the film would be R-rated, something both he and director James Mangold deemed necessary for the character at that point in his life. Having portrayed the mutant for almost 20 years, Jackman decided that his performance in Logan would be his last as Wolverine and honorably hung up his claws. We don't think we can ever see anyone else capturing the essence of Wolverine as well as Jackman did. Charlie Cox as Daredevil. When Daredevil was initially announced as a television show on Netflix, many people voiced their concern as they still had a bad taste in their mouth from the 2003 version with Ben Affleck. Thankfully, Netflix and Marvel found their man, and British actor Charlie Cox was cast to play the blind vigilante. Cox brought a vulnerability to an otherwise violent character that made him both instantly likably and intimidating. Having his character evolve over the course of 2 seasons of TV, as opposed to a few movies, allowed us to see many sides of the devout Catholic Matt Murdock. This method allowed Daredevil to become one of the most complex comic characters on screen, and we think Netflix captured the right amount of emotional conflict in the character when they cast Charlie.
Physics.
Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. While many of the actors on this list are kicking all kinds of butt, one stands out as a true thespian. Bringing his acting A-game to all his films, Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier has become known as one of the best acted performances in superhero films. Cool and collected, it feels so rewarding seeing acting of that caliber in a special effects heavy blockbuster. It doesn't hurt that Stewart already pretty much looks exactly like Charles from the comics.
You have no idea how to talk to a woman, do you?
Hayley Atwell as Peggy Carter. One actress who straight up owned her role was Hayley Atwell as Peggy Carter in the first Captain America film. Peggy was a charming, no-nonsense and sassy British agent who was working with the inventor Howard Stark, father to Tony during the Second World War. She became such a hit that the actress would come back in both the Avengers films briefly, as well as starring in her own post-war TV show that saw the character in the early days of S.H.I.E.L.D. as she had to deal with not only supervillains and clandestine plots, but also the hardships of being a woman in 1940s America after the war, when the returning men decided there was no place in the world for Peggy Carter. Naturally, Peggy rejected this notion, and Atwell's fiery attitude sold to determination to her critics and fans alike. Here's hoping that we see more of Peggy Carter in the future, as her presence in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is already being missed, which is a testament to her performance.
And please don't make the supersuit green. Or animated.
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool Part 2. Welcome back to Deadpool. So we learned just how much effort Ryan Reynolds put into making Deadpool, but did you know that Reynolds actually has no intention of ever playing another superhero again? The actor infamously starred as Hal Jordan in the DC flop Green Lantern, and as we mentioned before, played a very different Deadpool before in 2009. Reynolds, however, makes a point of laughing at this past failure by calling out both Green Lantern and his earlier portrayal of Deadpool in the Wolverine Origins film. Deciding that he's put too much blood, sweat, and tears into making the insanely popular film, which broke the R-rated box office record at the time, Reynolds believes he's at home playing the foul-mouthed Canadian, and no other superhero can take that away from him. That's it for today, everyone. Tell us what you thought our list. Do you feel bad for these actors, or are you happy they pulled through their ordeals, whether they are planned or a product of their environment? Whatever you think, let us know in the comments and hit that subscribe button. But wait, there's more! Hop on over to CBR for even more awesome content and sign up for the notification squad to stay up to date on all the awesome videos coming your way.